did a book called Endgame, in which I described how the lockdowns and the vaccines fitted in with the digitalization of currencies, the end of cash, and so on and so forth, and how all these things were taking us in the same direction towards the end of all our freedoms, the end of travel. And of course, one of the big reasons behind it, you can trace this all back to the 60s. I know you can trace some of it back even further, but it really got going in the 1960s, subsequent to the discovery in the 40s that oil was running out, and this actually panicked the people who like to think they're in charge of the world. So there were stories of the oil isn't running out. The oil is running out. That's, if you look at all the figures from the oil industry, they really have got big worries, and so they're trying to preserve it because the billionaires want the oil for their yachts, they want it for bombers and planes and tanks and so on, so they don't want us all using the oil, which is one of the main reasons behind the climate change myth. When the climate change myth was first originated in the 60s, the people who were originating it, and I described all this in Endgame, was the people who were doing this said, well, shall we have a war? Because a nice war always gets rid of a lot of people and it helps to control people. And they decided, no, a much better long-term way to deal with this was to have a big threat. And so they came up with climate change, global warming. They changed the name because global warming didn't look too good when the weather was bad. They then used climate change, and now they've added a nice big war because it's a way of creating more control, and you get all these idiots waving their little flags in support of Ukraine who have no idea that they've got involved in, who have no idea that this design a war whereby NATO is actually trying to control Russia. We have a world domination fight on. It's like something out of James Bond. And you can hear, sometimes you can hear when you talk to people about these things, you can see in their eyes that they're thinking some now. But in fact, the threat to our very existence, our existential, our life, the very threat is so huge that it's difficult to grasp what the plans are, how they're going to control it in every single way. Food. The reason for food prices going up, I predicted that in 2020. I said food prices are going to go up. Watch it. Take care. If you can have a little bit of a garden, that would be a good idea. The food prices were always going to go up. Inflation was always going to go up. Interest rates were always going to go up. It was all predictable. It was all planned. And I can say this because I predicted it 2-3 years ago that inflation was going to roar and was going to go out of control. The interest rates were then going to have to push up. The whole global economy would be deliberately crashed in order to impoverish people, to frighten people, and to control people. Because when you frighten people, you can control them very easily. And of course, they added this nice war on, and as I said, 140 million people in Africa are starving as we speak, and they're dying in their hundreds, and soon it will be in their thousands. And meanwhile, all people can worry about is whether or not we should be sending more depleted uranium to Ukraine. And I would say that Rishi Sunak, the UK Prime Minister responsible for sending depleted uranium to Ukraine, should now be treated as a war criminal, because the effects of depleted uranium in Iraq have been well documented. That was a scandalous thing to do. Now we're sending them more arms, and as I said there, we're sending troops. This is not going to end well. And once again, the war was predictable. In May 2020, over a year ago, I said they want a war. They now want a war. They have got to have a war between NATO and Russia. Now, I also did a video in the autumn saying that they want to lead us into a nuclear war. And of course they do. That's the next step. This war is not going to end quickly or happily. This war don't do end that happily. Because they have got to push us into a nuclear war, because that's a damn good way of getting rid of a lot more people. And as I pointed out, when you see Biden leaving the city, and when you see your leaders leaving the city in the UK, when Charles and Sunak leave London, that's the time for people to start being prepared, because that's when we're going to have the nuclear war, because they know that Russia, which they have been poking a stick at throughout this war, Russia has already said that one of the first places they're going to attack is Britain. The papers.
And Berlin, all of the major capitals of the West, Vernon. I think this is all part of the broader picture that you just described. All of this global warming hoax, food shortages, energy shortages, this is all a big lie in order to keep people under control, and most importantly, to keep them in permanent panic mode, because that's the only way that they will continue to accept orders. I do not think that even those who have gotten the jabs, many of them are now having questions. I do not think that even those who have gotten the jabs will fall for this virus scare one more time. There cannot be further lockdowns. There cannot be social distancing, masks, etc. But the one thing that will keep people in panic mode is a war. So I agree with you 100%. That's the next thing they're pushing, and we have to do everything we can to avoid this. I'm not sure if it's going to work, but ultimately, Vernon, I think there's too many people who are listening to you and us and Bobby Kennedy and all the others who are working their tails off in the alternative media to get the truth out. We will do an interview. There are a few people who are still upstanding, even politicians. Andrew Bridgen is one of them. We're going to do an interview with him shortly. And of course, we're also going to go in and delve into the very dark backdrop of all of this and do an interview with David Icke, for example. So if we continue with this work, I think we can turn this around. Do you have a game plan for that? Do you have, beyond exposing all of this, which is, I think, the most important task that we have, is there anything else which you think we can do in order to stop this and hold them responsible?
It's all about communication. It's all about communication. It's all about spreading information. Although I've qualified as a doctor and worked as a doctor, I've spent most of my life as a communicator, mainly as a writer. I don't feel that television is a natural medium for me. I don't regard speaking as a natural medium for me. I'm a writer, and I've written about half a dozen books about what's happened in the last 3 years as things progress. I wrote a book about social credit, Nightmare on Your Street, using everything I know about writing in order to try and tell people. Another book I did more recently was They Want Your Money and Your Life, because that's what people have to understand. The only way I know to try to reach people is to tell them in books, and the CIA hates books because they know that people do tend to take books quite seriously. The only way I know personally is to try to reach as many people as possible with explanations of what's going on and advice on how best we can combat it. And the basic thing that everybody has to do is to share information, share videos, share website articles. I'm banned from everywhere. I can't share my videos or my articles anywhere. I am totally banned by all social media and all mainstream media. All I've got are my books and my website. I do videos on my website, which also get put on BitChute and on Brand YouTube. So I don't do those very often anymore. I just do pile the stuff into my website, but free articles, never any advertising on that. Free articles every day about what we need to do and how we can do it. And what more information there is available, like, for example, proving that the General Medical Council is linked in with the drug companies. How corrupt can you be? About the fact that the World Health Organization ended the COVID lie with the biggest lie of all, that 20 million people had died from COVID. These people just lie and lie and lie, and they never show a shame. We expose them, Rainer, we expose their lies, we point out, we laugh at them when we can, because humour is a very powerful force, and I try to do that as much as I can. I remember at one point, early on when I was doing YouTube, and YouTube was taking down videos the day after I put them up, and I was, before they took down the whole channel, and I wasn't allowed to mention the word vaccine. I did a whole book, by the way, very early on, Coming Apocalypse, and I didn't use the word vaccine, and I didn't use the word COVID, because it was the only way I could get it published. And I had to work my way round, which is not easy in a book about COVID and the vaccines, do a whole book without mentioning the words. But what I did with the videos, I wrote the word on a piece of paper, and every time I wanted to say it, I held up the appropriate piece of paper, which became quite comical, but in fact it got around YouTube, because they didn't actually look at the videos before they banned them, of course. They just said, oh, we're going to send another video, we're going to ban that one quickly. Or somebody from the BBC, I suspect, probably rang them up and said, oh, he's done another video, quick, ban it. So they never actually looked at the things, they just banned them, and in the end I suppose they got tired of banning them all the time, so they just banned me wholesale. But we still get around, right? You and I, and the people who are fighting for what we are fighting for, which is basically nothing more than freedom, nothing more than human existence. We're fighting for the future of mankind. Sounds grandiose, but it's true. And I sometimes, in the darkness of the night, I sometimes ask myself how much easier life would have been if I'd kept my mouth shut at the beginning of this, had an easy life and just carried on with my books being published. My income surged, inevitably, because they took away all my publishing deals. And I sometimes ask myself in the dead of night, would I have been better off to keep quiet? I know damn well I couldn't, because it's not my nature,
You cannot stay quiet while watching what's going on. It is impossible. We're doing this because we have no choice. That's why we have to do it. Joseph wants to ask you a question. Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay.
Vernon, how do you hold body, mind, and spirit together as well as you do? You sound so vibrant as ever, as alive as ever. How do you do it?
I've got a beautiful wife who looks after me very well. And I spend as much time as I can watching the wildlife in the garden. And I suppose that's it really, escaping from time to time from the horrors and the lies of what is happening. The thing that I find most contemptible about what's happening, and I hold the media in total contempt. I spent much of my life working in the media. I wrote columns for newspapers all around the world. But I think that I feel total contempt for them because they refuse to countenance the truth. They refuse to allow any debate. They refuse to discuss things which they're told not to discuss. That's not a media that I recognise or want to have anything to do with. And so I suppose what I do, to a certain extent, is turn the anger into action. Because somebody's got to do it. We've got to do it. We've got to do what we do. We've got to fight the people who I genuinely believe are evil. Evil beyond... I mean, what sort of doctors give a jab when they have no idea what it's going to do? The doctors who gave that COVID jab to millions of people, they could not possibly have known what the side effects were because the government lied and said there weren't any. They gave the jabs because they were paid more than they are usually paid. they were paid an extra fee for giving the COVID jab. Well, actually, they didn't. They just got their nurses to do it. They didn't do anything. All they did was cash the checks. And I have total contempt for them, too, for not asking questions about what they were being asked to do, for not bothering to look at the truth. The truth about the COVID jab was available in the autumn of 2020. It's all on videos and in books, as I've said. The truth was available. They ignored the truth. They hid from it. They lied. One day they will all be arrested and charged. If that doesn't happen while they're still alive, they will have at some point to come face to face with their maker, who will want to know what the hell they were doing and why they betrayed their oath, their patience, and themselves.
Here's the thing, Vernon. I believe that most of the alternative media platforms, I shouldn't say that, but most of the social media, rather, like Facebook, for example, are owned and operated by the deep state. I believe that people like Mark Zuckerberg are just puppets, just frontmen. Same, I believe, is true for Jeff Bezos and all the others. So that's why they have seemingly full control over the social media as well. But they do not have full control over all of the alternative media, the ones that you're using, the ones that we're using. And if they want to shut it down, they're going to shut themselves down, because a total blackout would mean that their propaganda isn't going to reach anyone either. So ultimately, this, as you said, is the only way to go forward. Keep exposing them, make sure that as many people as possible get the message, or at least start to ask questions, because that's the only way out of this. I believe that all of the puppets, the doctors, the politicians, the media people who have either been bribed or extorted, that all of these puppets are far worse than the people who are pulling their strings, the really, truly evil people behind this, because they're stupid. And one very famous now, a German pastor by the name of Dietrich Bonhoeffer, who was killed in one of the concentration camps, he said exactly that. It is easier